Well, it finally happened. The 3DS and Wii U are officially dead. We've known this day would come for years now, and to be honest, I'm surprised the 3DS and Wii U were supported as long as they were. Nonetheless, as of April 8th, the online services of the consoles will shut down. This year of Nintendo, while a dark age, had its own charm. The Wii U gamepad spicing controls up, the gritty and pixelated look of the 3DS, and the loads and loads of games I love, from Super Smash Bros. To Mario Kart 8, to Pokémon X and Y, to Animal Crossing New Leaf. The 8th generation of Nintendo will always hold a special place in my heart. I will be honest about one thing about my experiences with most of these games though, and that's with the exception of Smash, I never really spent much time playing the online modes of almost any of my 3DS and Wii U collection, which might not have been such a bad thing since I won't be too attached to them when they shut down on Monday. But since this is my last chance to check them out, I'm gonna play the online modes, at least a little of each game I own on these consoles, and see how good they are, or were, depending on how long it takes to finish the voiceover and editing for this video. Anyway, let's start off with one game I actually did play a lot of online of in the past, Smash 3DS and Wii U. I feel kind of bad for both of these installments being overshadowed by Ultimate, but not being distinct in its own way like Melee or 64 were. Nonetheless, I adore them, especially the 3DS version, with it being my first 3DS game. Anyway, there is a decent variety in modes. You can choose between either playing for glory, aka for hardcore fans, or for fun, aka people who suck, and you can guess which one I picked. Yeah, and to make things worse, I even got stomped hard in this mode too. I'm not a competitive Smash player, and it's been like 5 years since I've played a Smash game, for more than like an hour, so please cut me some slack. At least in the 3DS version I managed to win a game. Well, to be fair, I was pretty cheap, but it still counts. Outside of direct battles, you can bet gold on other players' matches too. Upload or see other people's screenshots, replays, and custom stages, or something called conquests. However, this feature got shut down all the way back in 2019. Next up, let's take a look at the Pokémon series. Like Smash, I've never been a competitive player of it either. But unlike Smash, I wasn't a cheap one this time. My challengers were, using legendaries and quitting like a little bitch when I was about to win. The saddest features to go will be the trade features. It was so awesome being able to trade the Pokemon you want from completely different games across the world. And of course, we can't forget the Pokemon Bank, which allowed users to store Pokemon from different games in the same spot and trade between them. Scarescraper in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is a special case, since all the features that make up the mode will still be available in the hereafter. The only change is that you'll only be able to play with local players instead of worldwide ones. In Scarescraper, players compete and work together in a series of semi-randomly generated levels. To communicate with each other, players can use the D-pad to get Luigi to say stuff like "good job" or "help." Instead, everyone just kind of spams it when they have nothing better to do. Nothing better to do than except, try to complete the stage. Like, I kept getting stuck with the most incompetent players over and over again. I'm not exactly skilled myself, especially with this being the first time I've picked up the game in like 8 years, but sheesh. Overall, Scarescraper is a fun mode, and I am glad that it'll still be playable from here on out, just not the online version. Kid Icarus Uprising was a game I didn't expect to have such a large player base anymore, with it being kind of niche and rare. Still, there are two modes. One where players duke it out like Smash Bros, and one where players duke it out like Smash Bros, but with a twist. Basically, a group of players are on two sides. There's this health bar, and once one side's health bar goes down, the other side is able to become either Pit or Dark Pit. The two face off, and whoever beats the other wins. I already talked about the wireless features of Animal Crossing New Leaf in my retrospective video I made last year, so if you want to know more about that game, go check it out. One issue I had with quite a few games is not being able to find any players to play with. Late releases, niche titles, and games that don't focus too heavily on multiplayer in particular. I tried the online modes of Fire Emblem Awakening, Fates, Triforce Heroes, and WarioWare Gold to no avail. And Triforce Heroes kind of shocked me in particular because that game, multiplayer is the whole point of it, so yeah, I tried like 3 times. I waited like 15 minutes for a match, but nothing. Mario Maker was one of the more creative Nintendo titles of the era, and had the Wii U launched with it, who knows? Maybe the console could have been at least a little less of a financial failure. One of the best things about Mario Maker is the ability to share levels you've created online, as well as download ones others have uploaded. And aw man, are some of these levels awesome, and some are the most unfair and unplayable stages ever created. There is a 3DS version of this game as well, although I couldn't record it for this video because apparently you can't play it on another 3DS without having to erase save data. And the 3DS I originally played it on is my childhood 3DS, which is not capture modded. Same thing with Mario Kart 7 too. I own it, the online mode is great, but it's a digital copy on a non-modded console. And with Mario Kart 8, I own the Switch version instead of the original, so. To finish off though, let's take a look at the game that, out of all the ones I own, will be the most negatively affected by the end of online services, Splatoon. Unlike others where the online is a small feature in a much larger game, the online mode is pretty much the whole game. Well, there's a story mode, but the majority of everyone's playtime is in battles. Not only that, but winning battles is the only way to earn money to buy things like weapons or clothes. The game itself is extremely fun though. Instead of trying to kill each other, players focus on trying to use various weapons to paint the stage their color the most. Well, you can't kill each other, and trust me, you'll die a lot, at least early on. There's a level system with XP being earned after battles, but it really sucks when you're level 1 or so and facing off against level 50 Japanese players. Trust me, the Japanese players are like unbeatable. Looking back, these games truly are special, and while I didn't play a lot of the online modes of them, I had a fun time giving them a try. I kind of regret not playing them more, especially Splatoon and the Pokémon games. It is what it is though. At the very least, it won't be long before fans work together to create their own servers to replace the official ones, like they did with the DS and Wii. Although unfortunately, the number of players will never again reach what they did in the past. Rest in peace 3DS, rest in peace Wii U, and thank you both for all the memories you've given me.